Hi, I'm Rick Case, founder of Napkin to Shelf, and this is the free Pillar 1 overview. We start with Pillar 1, which is the entry gate that determines whether an idea deserves further consideration. There's no building, there's no spending, only evidence and a decision. So come into the classroom, come over here to Pillar 1, discover and validate. Now, Pillar 1 is free and it's intentionally limited. It's not meant to validate your solution, design, or your brand. It's meant to pressure test the problem, pressure test the customer, and determine the market reality. If you leave Pillar 1 with clarity that an idea should stop, that is, in fact, a successful outcome. So let's go into Pillar 1. The first thing you'll see is an authorization to enter validation gate. Passing through this gate gives permission to expose to investigate a real problem space and invest your time in a structured validation series of work. The first validation technique that we use is called the MOM test, where you discover the real problem or need. We tell you how to do the MOM test, and we give you some tools to operate as you go through: a customer interview guide, a problem statement template, and MOM test interview notes. Once you're through the MOM test, you have an assignment. Pass through this gate, and you're on to problem solution framing. And for this, we use a tool called the Lean Canvas. It's a one-page tool designed to surface and test the core assumptions behind a business. We turn ours into a physical product Lean Canvas. That includes the channels where the product may be sold: direct-to-consumer, retail, Amazon, and wholesale. The revenue streams. It captures early pricing and your margin target. These are hypotheses, not forecasts. And a cost structure, which highlights the major cost drivers such as material, packaging, and shipping to expose early risk and complexity. Now, this is early on in the program, so do your best to fill out the Lean Canvas and to operate within the guidelines. We do have some guidance for completing your first draft of the Lean Canvas, numbers that are suggested in order to fill out the Lean Canvas. The tools you receive are the Lean Canvas itself, blank, the Lean Canvas with numbers, and we also have a few case studies for you. There's an assignment with the Lean Canvas, and you move through the gate into a market audit. So here we're taking a look at the market: the total addressable market, the serviceable addressable market, and the serviceable obtainable market. We call this TAM, SAM, and SOM. TAM answers the question, is this market broadly interesting? SAM answers the question, is this market reachable for me? And the SOM is this business viable right now? What can I actually service and obtain currently? Why the market audit matters: two ways to calculate the TAM, SAM, and SOM. Some case studies, along with a quick competitor scorecard and some tools. You have a market audit and a competitive scorecard template. Module 1.3 has an assignment as well, and you move through the 1.3 gate. We move into Module 1.4. You'll see the customer segment deep dive, and what this does is helps you examine how your customer may behave, what they value, what might stop them from buying. This is not a branding exercise, it's a risk reduction exercise. The purpose of this work is to identify the specific group of people most likely to buy first, not the group you would like to sell to. This deep dive matters because if you try to sell to everyone, you will reach no one. Early adoption does not come from the largest audience. It comes from the least resistant buyers. So we walk you through the deep dive. We give you a core framework, defining demographics, psychographics, You're mapping purchase behavior, identifying barriers to purchase, and understanding the usage context. We provide you some tools, a customer segment worksheet, and you move through the gate onto the next module, which is our summary. Pillar 1 takes your idea from a spark of inspiration to a reality-tested business hypothesis. By the end of this pillar, you'll know whether a real recurring problem exists, whether the market can support a viable business, whether competition leaves room to win, and who your earliest buyers would actually be. Some ideas are going to pass. Some will need to pivot, and some should stop here. That clarity is the outcome of this pillar. It protects you from wasting time, money, and momentum in the stages that follow. And as with every module and pillar, we have an exit gate, and that is the validation decision gate. This gate determines whether your idea has earned the right to proceed in the planning and definition stage. There are required inputs that are called the evidence pack. The evidence pack includes problem evidence, customer credibility, a problem solution coherence, your market reality, and what is your risk visibility. The outcomes of this gate, you either get validated and you're authorized to move on to pillar 2, you're invalidated and you just terminate the idea, or you go back and you restart. The idea requires material reframing before validation can continue. There is no conditional approval. At the end of this, if validated, the idea is permitted to move into structured planning and definition. No assumptions are considered proven beyond the evidence presented. If it's invalidated, the idea is closed. Further work on this idea is explicitly disallowed. If a restart is required, then prior work may inform the new cycle and no validation is assumed to carry forward. The final rule in all of this is passing this gate does not mean the idea is good. It means the idea is no longer unvalidated. Failure at this gate is a successful outcome when it prevents downstream waste. A couple of ending points to note. You'll notice that Pillar 1 is structured as a sequence, not a buffet. Each step builds evidence and each step has a purpose. None of these are about proving your idea is great. They're about removing false confidence. The most important instruction out of all of this is don't rush. You're not trying to complete Pillar 1 quickly. You're trying to answer a small number of uncomfortable questions honestly. If you find yourself wanting to jump ahead to design, manufacturing, or execution, that's typically a sign that you haven't finished this pillar yet. So what not to do? There are a few common mistakes I kind of want to head off here. Don't treat this like content that you're going to consume. Don't skip steps because you already know this. And don't look for permission to proceed. The system doesn't give permission, it gives clarity. When you're done with Pillar 1, you should be able to answer one question clearly. Is this problem real enough for a specific customer to justify further work? If the answer is no, you stop. If the answer is yes, you'll know why, not just feel hopeful. Pillar 1 connects to the rest of the napkin to shelf system. Nothing after Pillar 1 is automatic. There are gates, and each gate exists to prevent premature commitment. Pillar 1 doesn't unlock anything. It prepares you to make a decision. The next right step is simple. Start at the beginning of Pillar 1 and work through it in order. If you want orientation on how the full system works, you can visit the Start Here section. Otherwise, go ahead and begin Pillar 1 and let the evidence guide you.